Does she have people on her team, all her little unpaid minion interns scanning all of social media, all the internet to see what people are saying about her? Absolutely, absolutely. But here's the thing. She's wasting so much time trying to figure out and just scour the internet constantly to see what people like me are saying about her. That shouldn't matter. She should have such a clear vision for her company by now. She should have such a clear vision, and she should be bringing the products to the masses. And this should be a done deal. You should be able to go on her website and click on it and be able to buy stuff. End of story. You can't even do that. There is no vision. There is no planning. It's just all over the place. She's spending more time watching people like me critique little micro things about why do you have beauty products and all this kind of stuff. And it actually leads to a bigger issue. She really shouldn't be doing it in the first place. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Jennifer. I am so happy to have you here. This is going to be a little bit of a fun one, and I'm going to start off by asking everyone watching a question. I already know the answer. You already know the answer, but it's just fun to ask the question anyway. The question is, does Meghan Markle watch YouTube videos about her, specifically ones like mine that usually criticize her and Harry's behavior? How about the question, is she scouring social media posts, things like Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff, looking for what people are saying about her? I think we know the answer to both of these questions. In both instances, the answer is indeed yes. And the reason why we know that is because whenever she gives an interview, whether it's a print interview or a podcast interview like the one she did on the Jamie Kern Lima podcast, she's always clapping back to any criticism that she receives, whether the amount of time she's taking to come up with the ideas in her business, what type of mom she is, how she treats people, because remember, we have so many things swirling around this woman. One of the most troubling is the bullying accusations, both in her time in the royal family when she was working for the firm or working her own endeavors in North America. People have reported, especially in that scathing Vanity Fair article back from January 25, about how she is just a nightmare to work for, how she is a dictator in high heels. People have accused this woman of bullying both sides of the Atlantic. So basically, we know that she is reading and she is watching things that are being said about her because of the way that she's constantly clapping back. So we already know the answer to the question, but sometimes the answer is so glaringly obvious and it hits really, really close to home. So I'm going to take you back in time just a little bit to a video that I put out not too long ago. And I titled that video Makeup Therapy Time. And I know you're saying, Jennifer, why are you asking us questions we already know the answer to? Let me show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So back on April 8th, I released a video called Harry and Meghan Are in a Jam, where I'm in my bathroom, I'm putting makeup on, I'm just rambling on about all the latest goings on at that time with Harry and Meghan. And I was specifically focusing on Harry's Sentabali charity scandal, because at that time, Dr. Sophie came out and she basically accused Harry of racism, bullying, and just basically trying to oust her out of that charity. And she's a very strong, independent, very, very savvy woman. And she basically said that he tried to stop her from working as chairwoman, acting in the best interests of that charity. So that's a whole nother video. I'll link that down below for you guys. But I wanted to just refresh your memory a little bit. So after I go in and I'm talking about the whole Sentabali charity thing, I touch on Meghan's ShopMy page. Now, at that time, Meghan had started a ShopMy page about a month before, and she coincided that ShopMy page with the release of her With Love Meghan show on Netflix. So they were supposed to exist and coincide. So she was going to have the Netflix show, and then she was going to merch things on her ShopMy page. So let's just watch this really quick, and then we will get more into story time. I can't keep up. Oh, there's one more thing I wanted to talk to you about real quick. Another thing she's been getting a lot of flack for is the fact that she is now peddling clothes and beauty items and things like that on her own ShopMy webpage. Now, I have a ShopMy. So in my description, I have the links to my ShopMy, and I have skincare recommendations, makeup recommendations, all my favorite SPF, self-tanners, different things like that. And it's all in my shop. But what I will say is I'm a small potatoes creator. It's not like I've got a huge audience right now. I'm under 10K. And I love and appreciate every single one of you. Help me get to 10K if you haven't subscribed already, but I digress. And you guys got me to 10K. Thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of you. So yeah, I'm basically saying, look, I am a small potatoes creator. I'm a licensed esthetician and a makeup artist. I do make beauty and skincare makeup content, and anything that I talk about or anything that I share with you guys, I do have some of affiliate links in my ShopMy store. So I go into that. And then I talk about Meghan having a ShopMy page and why I thought that that was a very odd thing for her to do and a very weird business decision for her to take. So I am a smaller creator. And there's a lot of smaller creators, medium-sized creators, and even bigger creators that have ShopMys. But once you get to the, I don't want to say status, but okay, once you get to the name recognition of someone like a Meghan Markle, what you really want are brand deals. You want to work with brands directly, the Christian Dior's and Pradas and all that of the world. That's what you want to do. You don't really need to provide product links. For someone like me, if I'm making a beauty video or skincare video as an esthetician, I hate watching myself, you guys, but there is a point here. So just stick with me. I will link products that I talk about in case my viewers are interested in trying those products, and full disclosure, I make a small commission, but that's what she's doing. It's just, there's a disconnect there. Her name recognition should allow her to work with brands directly so that she doesn't have to go through putting up a third-party website with links for you to go buy stuff that she likes so that she could make a small commission too. I'm small potatoes. She's the Duchess of Sussex. Why is she doing this? The only thing I can think of is that brands don't want to work with her. Big name brands do not want to be associated with her and her husband. They are divisive. That's why she's not making these brand deals. And yes, in case you're wondering, I am a little sped up. Maybe I should make it 1.25 because that's really, really fast. Also, a part of me looks at her ShopMy page and I'm like, I know. Now I'm going to pause here right here. And I want you guys to take notice of this. So notice, what do you see right there? These are beauty products, you guys. At the release of this video, April 8th, she was merching beauty products on her ShopMy page. Noticed that she is merching the makeup she wore on her wedding day, you guys. I understand that a lot of influencers that talk about beauty products and skincare and health stuff, they may or may not have a background in those things, but the ones that are really liked and that are respected are the ones that do have somewhat of a background in the things that they're talking about. So just the fact that she is peddling beauty products, and mind you, beauty products that she wore 7-8 years ago, that she didn't have to do anything. It's not like she's making a tutorial about watch me put on my wedding makeup. Actually, if she did that, that would be a cool thing. Make a video about where you are putting your makeup on and talking us through your makeup look. Because she talks about not wearing makeup. Remember the no makeup look on Jamie Kern Lima's podcast? Her and Jamie, old Jamie and Meghan in the rocking chairs. No makeup, no makeup. Well, if she really just doesn't care about not wearing makeup, then why not film a tutorial where you're putting on your makeup and showing us how you put on makeup? A lot of people don't want to do that. And that is perfectly fine, perfectly acceptable. But, obviously we didn't know about that no makeup podcast at this time of the release of this video. But again, what an even better reason for her to do a no makeup tutorial or to show us how she does her makeup, right? Because it's not like she cares about going on camera without wearing makeup. So I digress. Got a really natural, pretty makeup aesthetic that I think if she showed people how she did it, there would be some people that would be interested and want to watch it. But she's just haphazardly throwing up links of something that she wore 8 years ago, trying to make money off it. To me, that screams, this is so low effort. That's so lazy. That's not doing anything. And not only that, but products that are 8 years old are not necessarily. So y'all get the gist here, right? So that was my main point of contention. And I'm a licensed esthetician and I love talking about these things. I don't profess to know everything about everything beauty. I know what I know and I like what I like, and I have a body of knowledge, having my license for a little over 20 years, where I like to talk and I like to share things. And that was what was really, really sticking in my when I saw that she had a beauty category, because it's bad enough that you're merching your clothes and your handbags and your shoes and you're a member of the British royal family. That's bad enough. But to me, it almost got personal when I saw her linking beauty products. If you'll see here, how can I mute that? But you see how she's merching, like there was a category on here where that stuff right there was stuff that she wore on her wedding day for her makeup. So point being, if you're going to talk about makeup, why don't you talk about why you love the products? Why don't you do a tutorial? Why don't you share with us something, anything? You're just throwing up links. And for someone who's a member of the British royal family. I just could not wrap my head around that. It just seemed so crazy and so trivial to me that she would do that. Well, fast forward, you guys. Today is the 21st of May. I don't know when I'm going to get this video up. So this is almost 2 months after I posted this video. And before we go into the real kicker point I'm going to make here in just a sec, I want to show you one more thing. This is an article from the dailymail.com, and this is from March 25th of 2025. And at this time, she had had her ShopMy page open for about a month and launched it around the time that her With Love Meghan Netflix show debuted. And it talked about specifically in this article, Meghan Markle adds more categories to her ShopMy, but chooses to omit designer brands. This is when she added the beauty category to her ShopMy page. And she talks about here, quote, "You've asked me about my nail polish on With Love Meghan, one coat of each, plus a few of my other essentials. Enjoy," she wrote in an Instagram story. So this is how she debuted the different different category, which was beauty. So here you can see at this time in late March, March 2025, you can see this beauty category was added. And these are the products she had in the beauty category at the time. And she was adding more and more products. So that's what I was talking about in my video. And the reason why I was being a little snarky about it was because I really felt like it was getting a little bit excessive. Not only was she merching designer clothes that were, in my opinion, really ugly and overpriced, but she started delving into the beauty, health, and wellness area by adding these different categories. Because when you start entering the beauty, health, and wellness category, you really do have to do your due diligence. You really do owe something to your audience in the way of offering more depth of information. You need to give them not just, I like this and let's just throw up a link, especially with beauty, health, and wellness, things that people ingest or things that people are putting on their body and on their skin. You really do need to go a little bit more into depth with people about products. You need to explain what the product is, why you like it, how to apply it. What is your review? You've worn it for a long time. Here's why you feel it holds up. Maybe talk about ingredients. I don't know. Just give your audience something, especially when it's something as personal as a beauty product. And she didn't do that. She was just throwing up these links. So that's why I was offering up my opinion, saying, if you're going to do that, you really need to either talk about it more on your Instagram or, hey, maybe even start posting fun tutorials where you're applying the products and talking about the products. Of course, we never get that from her. She's not going to go above and beyond for her audience in any way, shape, or form. She's just, going to throw out a link and hope that you click it. And even if you don't buy what she's selling for that particular product, your little link is now linked to a cookie, and hopefully you'll buy other things and she'll make a commission off of that. It just depends on the way that each individual company runs their affiliate program and their cookies and all that type of thing. So the reason why this video is even being made is because I have a list at any given time of about 4 or 5 video ideas, things that I want to show you guys and talk about in future videos. And one of my planned videos was I was going to actually go into Meghan's ShopMy, into her beauty category that she has, and I was going to go through some of the products. And if I had familiarity with a specific product, I was going to talk about it to you and what the product is, what it's about. Like, for example, there was a few products on this page I was going to talk about. I love La Roche-Posay skincare. I was going to talk about that. There was a dry shampoo that Meghan has on this page from a brand called IGK. And I believe that is the matcha green tea formula for the dry shampoo. I love that dry shampoo. It's not heavy. It's not thick. It's not chalky. So I was going to go in and talk to you guys about some of Meghan's beauty selections. So guess what, guys? Meghan has taken the beauty category off of her ShopMy page. The only thing that Meghan has on her ShopMy page here, as you can see, is just all of her Instagram reposts. So for example, this is the one that she did from the Beyonce concert. So she's merching 3 products on this post, or from this post, I should say. This necklace, this Logan Hollowell necklace, is $11,000. $11,000. Isn't that interesting? And she's merching a Carolina Herrera dress, which if you click on the link, it says sold out. I think she picks items that are probably not selling or have very low inventory so that she can say sold out, or, a lot of SKUs, as Megan likes to say, a lot of products don't sell as much as the company would like them to. So those are the products that usually get sent to the outlets. But for example, here's another one. She's just merching a pair of shoes and the top and the pants. But the beauty category has since disappeared. So do I think that Meghan or somebody on Meghan's team obviously watches videos like mine and scours social media posts? Absolutely. This is hitting just a little bit too close to home. For her to completely take the beauty category off and for someone like me to have that in their video, I don't know. I guess I should say that I'm a nobody. I'm a plebe. How dare I even venture to think for a microsecond that Megan's going to waste her time watching someone like me? But we all know that she does. But it's either her or it's either someone on her team. But here's a couple different scenarios. Part of me is okay. So if you were putting beauty products on before, does that mean that you no longer like those products and now they have been pulled from your ShopMy page? So those are no longer products that Meghan can in good faith recommend? Or is someone on her team basically saying, look, it's one thing to merch designer handbags and clothes and shoes, but when you start venturing into lower ticket items like beauty products, that's probably not the best look for you, Meghan. Maybe you shouldn't do that. Or the other thing I thought might have happened was maybe because she's now being sued over her DIY toxic bath salt recipe. Maybe that was the, cherry on the sundae for them. Someone in her camp was like, look, you cannot recommend beauty, health, and wellness products, anything that's being applied topically or being ingested. Just stay out of that game. Don't recommend it. So maybe that's why she pulled all of that stuff. But if you guys remember, I was one of the first people. Now, I might not have been the first, but to my knowledge at the time, on March 4th, 2025, I released a video on my own channel where I was talking about the dangers of Meghan's DIY toxic bath salt recipe. I was talking about it at length as to why I thought that it was irresponsible of her to throw this recipe, if you could call it that, out on her show because she didn't give her audience any type of information about how to prepare it properly. She didn't provide a word of caution, anything to her audience as to what they could do to make sure that they were preparing it in a safe manner. Here is a GB News article from March 12th, and the title is Meghan Markle Sparks Concerns from Health Experts. Don't try this at home, okay? And they talk about how health experts, I don't know if I'd call myself a health expert. I'm just an esthetician from the United States, okay? But it says here that the Duchess's homemade concoction has been flagged by herbalists and skincare specialists who fear it could damage or even burn users' skin. Don't try this at home. Who is the YouTuber that they show cautioning against this DIY bath salt recipe? That's me, you guys. And I have to tell you, I found out that outlets like GB News and Daily Mail were putting up articles like this, linking back to my original video from my comments, from my comment section of some of my viewers. And honestly, I was a little bit like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this. It was a little nerve-wracking, but I am glad that I made that video because people were able to really, really understand and see why that recipe was not a good thing to do. She didn't provide any proper mixing ratios that you need when you are dealing with essential oils and when you're dealing with DIY homemade preparations. You have to have specific ratios, especially when you're dealing with essential oils. And that's what I touch upon at length in that video. And am I glad that I initially put out that video way back on March 4th, 2025? Well, yeah, I am, because take a look at this little gem. GB News is now reporting that Meghan has been threatened with an $8 million lawsuit as a fan claims to have suffered catastrophic burns from her Netflix recipe. I'm not going to go too far into the article, but basically it comes from a woman named Robin Patrick, who is a diabetic from Maryland, who claims that she sustained severe injuries after using the same blend of salts that Meghan prepared as a wellness gift on her show with Love Meghan. And what I find particularly interesting, Robin, woman burns that she sustained on her legs as a result of following this. And I don't even think we can call it a recipe because it wasn't a recipe. Meghan was just dumping a bunch of stuff into a jar and calling it good. So, the one thing that I did want to show you in this specific article, Meghan's lawyer clapped back, and it says here, her lawyer Cameron Stacher has responded. He pointed out that, quote, the use of Epsom salts is contraindicated for individuals with diabetes except on the advice of a physician. Okay, fair enough. But then he also says that he argued that a duty of care requires a foreseeable injury. And what he's arguing is that it was not foreseeable that Robin Patrick would disregard the instructions on the Epsom salt packaging in attempting to make and use your own bath salts. And he's saying for this reason, there can be no negligence claim against anyone involved in the production or distribution of this series. But here's where I take issue with that whole claim is that it's not just about the Epsom salts. It never was just about the Epsom salts. My main point in the video was that essential oils are volatile plant compounds that need to be blended with something called a carrier oil in order to be safe to apply topically on the skin. And not only to be applied topically, but to soak in them. And that's what a bath salt recipe is. And Meghan didn't provide any of that backstory, any of that type of information. She didn't tell her viewer anything about, look, when you're using this type of oil, and she was using arnica oil and she was using lavender oil in that recipe. She didn't offer any type of safety information at all. And I find it very telling that the lawyer is just saying, well, it just had to do with the Epsom salts, Well, you know what? Epsom salts are pretty innocuous. There probably is a very, very small segment of the population that couldn't maybe soak in an Epsom salt bath, but Epsom salt is also indicated for use as a saline laxative, meaning you take the Epsom salt, you follow the directions on the package, you mix it, and you can take it to relieve constipation. So it's a fairly widely tested ingredient and it's safe for most people. But again, whenever you talk about anything health or beauty or wellness, whether you're making a video or anything, it's always good to say, patch test first. You never know how someone is going to react to something. You should always patch test a small portion of your skin for up to 24 hours to see if any type of product you're using, whether it's Epsom salt or an essential oil or a makeup or a lip gloss or anything, you always just have to throw that out there if you're going to recommend or talk about something. Are people going to follow that advice and patch test? Probably not, but you have to do your due diligence in explaining to people why a patch test is important in order to take away your own liability, to at least show that you have some measure of care for your audience and the people that you're recommending things to. So that's what really, really ticked me off about this specific article is that they're not even addressing the fact that what probably burned that woman's legs wasn't the Epsom salt, but it was the crappy way that Meghan tried to just throw in those essential oils and think that was okay. Well, it's not okay. You have to blend essential oils with the carrier oil so that they don't burn the skin. You can get almost like a hot heat burn from an essential oil if it's not mixed properly with a carrier oil. That just blew my mind. So I'm looking at all of this and I'm thinking, I bet you anything, in addition to making her look like a complete psycho money grubber by putting anything and everything that she could merch under the sun, from the lip gloss she wore on her wedding day to, what her favorite skin cream and her cashmere sweater is, to now having people suing her over the fact that she is not taking any care or consideration of her audience. She's not talking to them about anything. She's just throwing stuff all together. I think it's just indicative of the way that she moves through life and the way she moves through business. Nothing is planned out. She's just flying by the seat of her pants. I really feel like she's just fueled by narcissistic rage and her narcissistic reactions to things. And nowhere in this lawyer statement at all does she express through her lawyer any type of regret or any type of, we are so sorry that happened to you. That was not the intention. And then at least follow it up with whatever the lawyer said there. But that was just so awful, you guys. I was just looking at all this going, what a mess. What a complete and total mess. So there you have it, folks. The beauty category is no longer on Meghan's ShopMy page. And I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing because if you are going to recommend beauty products, skincare, makeup, you need to give your audience a little bit more depth, Megan. You need to give us a tutorial, Megan. You need to talk about something about why you like the product. Don't just throw up a link. Clothes are one thing, but you know what? Beauty products are a completely different thing. Put a disclaimer in the post. Put a disclaimer. I mean, I don't know why her team didn't go back and just add a disclaimer to that episode at the very beginning, just like a quick 3-second thing like, hey, there's a recipe here. Use caution, use care, do your own research. Nothing. I mean, at least this makes sense, right? So she's merching bowls and some utensils, some wooden cooking utensils, looks like, and a Dutch oven and some bowls, an egg crate from Anthropology. Okay, whatever. But this at least makes sense. This at least ties into her aesthetic, her boring beige aesthetic from her With Love Meghan as Ever world. At least this is something that she can, I don't know, somewhat intelligently speak on, since she had a whole Netflix show about it. But I guess what we're seeing here, you guys, is that whatever beauty products she did have are no longer. So, like I said before, does that mean that she can no longer, in good faith, recommend these products? Who knows? Was she told that she should maybe take them off because of the pending lawsuit? When she was talking about health and wellness by talking about her little toxic DIY bath salt thing, maybe people in her crew were like, look, just anything that has to be ingested or topical, don't talk about it, don't recommend it. Who knows? Maybe she finally bought herself a clue after watching a video like mine, or maybe she listened to some scared unpaid intern or someone who told her, hey, you know what? Maybe not a good look to quote everything under the sun. Maybe just bags and shoes and coats and clothes might be enough. I don't know. I have no idea. But I am glad to see that beauty category gone, because I do think that if she's going to go that route, she needs to give her audience a little something more than what we got, which was a whole heck of a lot of nothing. Let's be honest. Taking this whole ShopMy Meghan experience as a whole, all it's doing is cheapening the British royal family brand and their name. And make no mistake, they are a brand, but they are the representative of an ancient institution, of a government, of a history, a country. They are involved in charities. That is all they do. Their whole existence is not to have members in their family running around on social media acting like micro influencers. This is just unbelievably disgraceful. And the fact that she has her title on this Shop My page is just in very, very, very poor taste. And there was a post here, the last one you see here, where it says you're invited. So this, I guess, was when she was teasing her As Ever brand, and it has a link. You can click on it and you can go to her As Ever page, and here's her As Ever page. But the one company that she does have that kind of makes sense and ties into her brand in a way that beauty products do not. Look at this. You still cannot buy anything on this website. If you try to, just click shop. Every single thing sold out, sold out, sold out, sold out. What kind of company is she running here? The spread is coming soon. What kind of company are you running? And then, so I guess if people want more information, they can subscribe to her email list. This does not speak of someone that is really into business and marketing, and her niche is a lifestyle elevating the ordinary everyday brand, but you can't elevate the ordinary for anyone if no one can buy any of these products. You cannot buy anything. And it's been almost a month now since this, or even a little over a month since this whole website was launched, and there's nothing you can buy. Absolutely nothing. I say it over and over, but make this make sense. Make this make sense, you guys. I have no idea what's going on here. I really, really don't. So I pretty much answered my own question that I posed at the beginning of this video. Is she watching videos like mine? Does she have people on her team, all her little unpaid minion interns scanning all of social media, all the internet to see what people are saying about her? Absolutely, absolutely. But here's the thing. She's wasting so much time trying to figure out and just scour the internet constantly to see what people like me are saying about her. That shouldn't matter. She should have such a clear vision for her company by now. She should have such a clear vision, and she should be bringing the products to the masses. And this should be a done deal. You should be able to go on her website and click on it and be able to buy stuff. End of story. You can't even do that. There is no vision. There is no planning. It's just all over the place. It's all haphazard. She's spending more time watching people like me critique little micro things about why do you have beauty products and all this kind of stuff. And it actually leads to a bigger issue. She really shouldn't be doing it in the first place. And she shouldn't be throwing out stuff like that bath salt recipe in the first place, because look what happens. Now she's being sued. But again, it's like she's doing it to herself. She's getting involved in the mire and in the muck of these little tiny things when it should be handled with so much better care and such a bigger vision. None of these little hiccups should be even happening in the first place. It's really, really sad. I I don't like to see someone falter like this so badly, but someone's got to tell her. Maybe she is starting to listen to people on her team. I hope so. I'm glad she took out all that beauty stuff. I really feel like she had no business peddling beauty products in the first place. At least if you're going to do it, tell us why you like them. But anyway, I digress. I definitely got a little bit of a chuckle seeing all the beauty products taken off of her ShopMy. But then again, I'm not I'm not really surprised. I am not really surprised. So I really hope that she stops watching all of us and she stops all the nonsense, because once she stops the nonsense, people like me won't make videos like this anymore. We'll talk about other crazy people in the media and not necessarily her. All she has to do, her and that wacko husband of hers, they just have to get off the crazy train. Just, you know what? You've been on the crazy train long enough. It's time to disembark and get on with the business of actually making something out of this company as ever. If that is really what she wants to do, she really needs to work on restocking those SKUs. Restock the SKUs. Make it look like you know what you're doing. Stop wasting time acting like an entrepreneur on a podcast that no one's listening to. You're not even giving any real business advice on the show as it is. It just seems like you're just cozying up to millionaires and billionaires so that you can kind of make it seem like you're interested in their stories and talking to them, but really you're just getting free business advice. I don't know. It's all weird. She needs to just personally, I feel like she just needs to stop this whole as ever company. It doesn't seem like a real business. It doesn't seem like a real company. To me, it just really seemed like a vanity project, something that she can say that she did to add to her resume so that it would be easier for her to go to other people and say, oh, it kind of looks like what I'm doing, so allow me to invest in your business. Because that was one thing I mentioned on another one of my videos, where a lot of the podcast guests that she has are people that she has invested in personally. So that's why I really think that she's featuring them. The woman from the Clever Blends Tea Company, her name escapes me right now, but she was one of the guests, one of the people that she has personally invested in. So that's why she's giving these people airtime. She wants people, more and more people, to find out about them so that the businesses will then be a little bit more successful. But she talked about that at the Time 100 Summit as well, about how she wants to, moving forward, spend more and more time investing in companies that have an ethos that she agrees with. So I think maybe that's her way of casually and just little flippantly throwing it out there that it's going to be more about investing in others, in other women-owned businesses, rather than furthering her endeavors. I don't know. All of this seems like a complete and total train wreck. They're not going to get off the train. They're obviously still on the train, but fine. You want to stay on the train and you want to throw out crappy DIY toxic bath salt recipes like that out there that are going to burn people's skin, cause injury. You're going to have people like me making videos setting these wrongs right. And you know what? That is what we are going to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Comment down below. Let me know what you think of this whole debacle. And I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Bye.